Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Terry's Move. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And life is a motherfucking roller coaster. You need to know that, and I mean that in the most literal sense. Because why do you sit back and say, your spirit always tell you to say certain things that may not make sense in the 3D, but you say it and you be like, yeah, that's a good metaphor or whatever. But before we even get into that, first and foremost, shout out to motherfucking 8 Red clothing. Thank you so much. They sending me clothing also and shit like that. Look, they got the motherfucking Flight Boss patches on this motherfucker. Look, they put the Flight Boss patch on the back. Y'all see that shit? Got the Flight Boss logo on the back and shit. Man, I love y'all, man. Y'all see the Flight Boss look good. God damn, I love my soul group, man. I fucks with y'all. Damn. For sure. Shout out to motherfucking 8 Red clothing and shit for sending me this goddamn shit. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna teach in style. We gonna teach like a pilot's supposed to look like. Flight Boss in this motherfucker. Now look, check this out. Now look, life is a motherfucking roller coaster. Why do you think same thing when your spirit be like, man, I'm high as hell? Your spirit don't never tell you, yo, when you get high or something like that, your spirit don't never tell you down as hell. Your state of being already be down for you to even manifest some type of reasoning to go get a substance to get high in the first place. And then the first thing you say is, you know what, man, I'm high as hell. Why you say that? So sit back and think about it, right? Your spirit always gonna tell you the true nature. So when you sit back and be like, man, goddamn, I'm constantly keep going through ups and downs, man. Life is a motherfucking roller coaster. Why the fuck you think you saying that? See now, and you ain't know no motherfucking roller coaster third dimensional wise, but you need to know this: an actual roller coaster is the manifestation of this energy signature anyway, and your spirit always likes to take a ride. A lot of y'all be on slave ships in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension spiritually, like I explained in my last video. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all just spiritually like to have fun. A lot of y'all just are spiritual downers. A lot of y'all are spiritually reckless. A lot of y'all are spiritually careless. A lot of y'all are spiritually dumb. But you really need to understand, or a lot of y'all are spiritually smart. But what you need to understand is these are all locations. These are all state of beings. You know what I'm saying? And based upon your state of being, that's going to be the scenarios that you manifest in your life. And what you manifest is going to be backed and supported by a person, place, or thing, situation, or circumstance. You get it? So for the most part, you need to know that a roller coaster itself is what people go to have fun. Some people scared of roller coasters, but it takes you on a ride in the 3rd dimensional realm. So in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, you need to know that this is what your spirit is doing. Your spirit is no thing, no shape and form. So it goes into realms of realities to create shapes and forms to be aware of itself within that realm of reality. So like I said, each star, each body, each vortex, each realm, each world is like a body of water. It's a frequency vibration. So it's a current. So anytime you go into another space, it's a current, it's a sea, it's an ocean in that space, an ocean of consciousness. And depending on the rotation of that current, you know, where the current water is flowing, you know what I'm saying, based upon your spirituality, if you're strong enough to withstand the current and withstand the asteroids, aka in the 3rd dimension, it'll play out as circumstances and situations. It'll be you accomplishing or getting over something, or you know what I'm saying, or overstanding something. And therefore in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, you are not getting washed away in a current. You actually know how to swim, and when the time is necessary for you to go against the tides, you actually have a spaceship that's equipped enough to go against the tides without getting destroyed and having your ass get killed, and your spirit leave that vessel that you was in to experience that realm of reality, and your spirit have to go somewhere else, aka you died in the 3rd dimension. So for the most part, when we talk about everybody like to be on a spiritual ride, what kind of roller coaster do you like to get on? Because look, like I said, you're no thing in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. So we're all spirits. We're all space traveling. That's why space within space. Spirits within spirits. You have an overall spirit, a bunch of spirits that live in it. You know what I'm saying? You have an overall spirit that created a bunch of shapes and forms. This is what you see outside of you externally as you being a spirit within that body. And you have took the elements and energies of the being you are in and created your own physical or fleshly light body or fluid or gassy body to go into as a spirit to experience yourself in that realm of reality. So keep that in mind. Now, when you're getting on a roller coaster, right? Now, look, there's many different roller coasters. There's dangerous roller coasters. There's roller coasters that don't swing upside down. There's roller coasters that's kind of mid-level and don't do a lot of highs and lows, but it's to kind of stay center and twirl. You know what I'm saying? So what kind of roller coaster do you like to ride? And you would know this based upon the circumstances in your life. Are you a person who goes through a constant highs and lows? And I mean high highs, low lows. It's barely any in-between ride that you can kind of live in. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you are this kind of person, that lets you know your spiritual state of being likes to go to an amusement park in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension that like to jump on the most chaotic roller coaster there is. Therefore, in the third dimension, it play out as you being extra stressed, extra down, extra going through extra circumstances and situations that you don't even necessarily need to be in. AKA, you didn't even have to get on that ride in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. But in the third dimension, there's a lot of illusions, lights, people, places, and things, shapes and forms and memories that you will follow, thinking that it's the right thing to pertain to at the moment, and get on a motherfucking ride or a train that be the worst time of your motherfucking life. Think about how many times in the third dimension you have done something based upon the friend you was with at the moment. See what I'm saying? So, when you talk about the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, right? If you're a person who's dealing with a bunch of highs and lows in the third dimension, then you are a person who likes to get on a bunch of rides in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, those Six Flags. You like to get on a bunch of rides that go very high and very low. So, this is what you need to understand. As a spirit, your spirit love going to amusement parks. Your spirit love to experience. Experience. You know what I'm saying? This is what your spirit likes to do, and it's addicted to it. And even though a lot of times it sustains itself from time to time to understand how to create a spaceship for itself to sustain itself in a particular realm of reality, that is just in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. But in the third dimension, that is just a person receiving information, stabilizing themselves on a certain concept, intellectualizing it, realizing it, and understanding it to the point that they have a sufficient enough of education to be able to sustain themselves whatever they're going to experience next. Same way you was in the fourth grade, and you need to learn everything in the fourth grade to go to the fifth grade. You see what I'm saying? So when we talk about as spirits, all spirits love to experience new experiences. Now, in the third dimension, these new experiences, based upon how much you indoctrinated and how lost you are in life, light, masculine, male, period, how much you are lost in that. A lot of times your spirit enjoy things that in the third dimension, being in the physical flesh, you think this is the worst scenario ever. You think this is the worst situation ever. But not knowing that your spirit in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional realm is on a ride of his life. This is the ride it likes to do. You know what I'm saying? And in the third dimension, if you're not spiritually inclined enough, you won't understand that this is an experience you actually needed in this lifetime. And the more you keep running from that experience, creating justifications to run away from it, create shapes and forms to run away from it, create fear to run away from it, the more you sustain yourself in some type of routine and pattern, and then your spirit going to have to create a more catastrophic scenario in order to force you out of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it slowly but surely start to play out, as in a third dimension, based upon your illusion that you lost in, it'll be a bad circumstance or situation. But in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, this is your spirit having the time of his life. That's like you might be very afraid of guns in the third dimension, right? And somebody got a gun in your face robbing you. You do not know that in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, your spirit is having the time of his life right now. It's getting closer to its godly state and everything. So the moment you in the third dimension and start to tie elements that's attached to this third dimension and beings who rule this third dimension, once you start to attach those things to it, you start to become lost. You start to attach fear to that gun being in front of your face. You start to attach all the ideas and thoughts you have learned about what guns do to your mind. You start to attach to everything that happened to people who might get shot. And once you start to attach all these things, you're not knowing that in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, you're in your true godly state. So you get to you create on an instant like that. Now in the third dimension, the shit you creating is you getting ready to get killed. Because you adding all this fear, you adding everything that might happen, you all that add this, you add this, that, and the third, you're showing fear and this, that, and the third, then the circumstance and situation going to play out in some type of way that you get killed. And that's your, in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, that's your spirit. Like, man, I'm tired of having that body anyway. That's that body weak. That circumstance and situation and family and friends that I plant myself in to come out of was fucking weak, and I couldn't get out of that state in no way, other shape, and form. So your spirit is not upset like the people in your, like the family and your friends that are in the third dimension. Actually, your spirit feel free, because you might been a spirit in a state of being, but you came into a realm of reality, aka a star, a conscious water flow that was too strong. The current was too strong for you, so you didn't even really like those experiences, and your spirit like, okay man, better luck next time on a better current. Third dimensional wise, it might be heartbreaking and things of that nature for the people around you. Y'all get what I'm saying? So you need to pay very close attention on what kind of roller coaster ride you get on, because a lot of people get on some good ass roller coasters. I mean, on roller coasters that, man, they got extra seat belts, it's safe, you feel feel comfortable and relaxed. They got the seat cushions on that motherfucker and shit like that. It's like a first class roller coaster or something like that you can hop on. Now, what is those type of people that you see in the third dimension? These are people who like to always experience exciting moments, but based upon positive, not exciting moments that's always negative. Exciting moments that's dealing with positivity and prosper and gaining. This is a person who's on a roller coaster that a lot of times that the roller coaster, it goes up and down and all around, but in a whole different space. It's not like a rinky-dink ass roller coaster. It's an upscale, up-class roller coaster. And that'll be the people who manifest these kind of rides for themselves is people who got confidence. People in the third dimension. People who see themselves a certain way. Don't settle for less. Don't just because someone else is in a circumstance or situation, they don't apply that to them. You know what I'm saying? You know how you might be living in a certain neighborhood and you feel like, damn, somebody could do something better than you, but you see them not getting from point A to point B, so you don't even try what you're trying because you would be you see what I'm saying? Y'all get into a lot of that stuff. What's for you is for you. What's for that person is for that person. So never let somebody else's circumstance, situation, or downfall dictate how far you should go with something. You see what I'm saying? Like, I see this every day in the neighborhood I grew up in. One female or a nigga be singing and rapping and shit like that. Then they come across somebody who could do it way better and things of that nature. But then they look at the circumstance and situation of that person who could do it way better and don't see them getting as far. So they already lessen themselves and cut themselves off and go somewhere else. Not knowing that whatever they got, no matter how good or bad they are, is for them. But you will never experience that because you're taking someone else's idea and experiences and adding it on to your idea and your experience before you even get the experience what you were supposed to experience. You see what I'm saying? Like, shit is in a lot of different scenarios. But so you gotta stay on point in this world. Stay on point. That's why everything is dealing with points and shit like that. Because the zero is so small here. It's not expanded here because y'all so low vibrational down here that is weird. Things get weird. But for the most part, life is a roller coaster. So you look at the people who live in moderation. These are people who just coast. They may not even get on roller coasters, but if they do get on one, it's a roller coaster like a train ride. It just go around and sightsee. You know what I'm saying? Or like one of them little train things that go around the mall and just sightsee real quick. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those. So it's a person who can get off and get on another ride, and they can get off and go home. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's up to their choice. You know? But, you know, based upon your life, you can tell what kind of roller coaster ride you are on. Or if you're a person who own the whole amusement park. Like me, I'm the type of person who own the whole amusement park. So it's if I want to ride the roller coaster one day, or if I want to chill and do this one day, or if I want to go, you know what I'm saying, throw rocks at teddy bears and shit. Or, I mean, throw the little pins at the balloons and try to get one to see if I could win a teddy bear or something. You know what I'm saying? This is a big old fair and shit, though. But, like, you know what I'm saying? I just like to experience all the shit. I don't necessarily just like roller coasters. And I hate roller coasters in the third dimension. But I'm going to still have them, though, at Six Flags. But at the same time, you know, paying attention to what kind of roller coaster you're on, that's letting you know what kind of life you're going to manifest. But it's also letting you know what kind of state of being that's your true nature. For an example, you might be around somebody who always trying to change their life. And they always got circumstances and situations to explain to you and why they need to change their life. But then you need to sit back and understand how these situations is getting manifested in the first place. You need to know in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, in the higher realms, this person's spirit like that. So regardless of the illusion in the third dimension and how many people around them telling them that that's wrong or you're wrong or whatever they think is going on in the circumstance or situation, in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional realm, this person loves that ride. And then that ride itself may not be a ride that everybody else like to ride. So this is why nobody likes to ride with that person. And then this person feel like they need to switch rides. Go to the ride that everybody else is riding. Go to the horsey merry-go-round or something like that. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? A person's spirit gonna like what they like. Like I said, in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, you are who you are. You ain't gonna run from that. I don't care what illusion you think you coming up with in the third dimension. In the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, none of this matters. None of this is even real down here. What's only real is your true state of being, and that's who you are, and that's how you gonna look. And then a lot of y'all not even human. It's like 98% of the world ain't even human. None of y'all motherfuckers is human anymore. Y'all motherfuckers better get out of 3D. 3D is over. It's a wrap. It's a wrap for 3D. This is it. This being about to die like the next 100 years. It's a wrap. Some of y'all may still be here when this being that y'all in die. Some of y'all gonna experience that shit. Y'all gonna experience that revelation. All the thunders and growlings in this person's stomach. Y'all about to experience that shit. And it's either gonna shit y'all out, nut y'all out, or depending on what frequency vibration you on, you get birthed out. Now, if you get birthed out, you got birthed out in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. If you got shit out, you went to Sheol. Your ass is just getting remixed to come back here and get mummified. Or if he threw, or she or he or whatever it is threw you up out, you know what I'm saying? Y'all not understand. Y'all don't get it. Y'all probably listen to me right now like this cat talking about it like we an actual person. Yeah, we really Osmosis Jones. I don't give a fuck how religious you think you is. How the fuck was y'all in motherfucking thing's bosom? Y'all was in motherfucking where was that place at in y'all motherfucking Bible? Was it Adam's bosom or was it Abraham's bosom? Y'all used to live in one of these motherfuckers assholes. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. I come from a whole nother realm of reality, a whole nother being. You know what I'm saying? This being that y'all in right now, and all the blood cells as y'all created this being, because y'all know y'all the ones who created this being if you agree to the terms and conditions. So all y'all who super religious fanatics and y'all agree to the terms and conditions, y'all some of the blood cells that been repeating this life over and over again, sustaining it in this hell, this light over and over again. A lot of y'all motherfuckers was born in Abraham's bosom, his motherfucking ass. And they fucking shitted y'all out. And y'all went to Sheol. And y'all still down here teaching people that shit. And then when you tell a religious person that a lot of y'all motherfuckers came from, y'all jackasses, because y'all came from Abraham's bosom, they gonna try to flip it around and try to make it seem like it's something else. Or metaphorically. No, it's literal, motherfucker. That shit literal. In the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, y'all motherfuckers live in a person. The fuck you think? What is you thinking? Y'all retarded? Nigga, fuck that Christ consciousness shit. Nigga, flight consciousness, nigga. Air, flight boss, bitch.